Two would-be thespians together on one stage, one from South Africa and the other from neighbouring Zimbabwe. That's Loiuse and Micheal Richard met on the set of Othello and have spent the last 35 years together. The veteran actress and voice-over artist have built a solid marriage based on respect and a lot of laughter.
A love affair that began on stage more than 3 decades ago. 35 years later, it still flickers as brightly as it did in 1981 in the days of packed playwork.
She was just fascinating. It was this young, rather enigmatic, beautiful girl in the cast, and I thought, I just thought, how nice, how refreshing, how lovely. And I fell for her.
He was just gorgeous. I had seen Micheal on stage before when I was at school, so I knew his work, and I thought he was an amazing actor. And I mean, I never thought that he would look at me, romantically in any way. But he was really sexy, and his voice was divine. And I'll never forget the first time we actually spoke to each other. We were rehearsing Midsummer Night's Dream, and I was sitting on one side of the rehearsal room, and I think we just started the rehearsal. We were just meeting the cast or something. I was standing on the other side, and Micheal walked across and he said, "I don't believe we've met. I'm Micheal Richard." And I just melted.
Theatre veterans Loiuse and Micheal Richard have over 30 years' experience in the South African theatre and television space. The couple have acted in countless productions together. These include Christopher Durang's Vanya, Sonia, Masha and Spike, as well as Jenny Hanneman's Robinson Crusoe and the Caribbean Pirates. Although the list of favourites that have seen the two cast together is endless.
Pterodactyls and God of Carnage. They were both fantastic plays, and Pterodactyls was about a dysfunctional family. Our daughter was in it as well, which made it special. And it dealt with things that I think are important in a really funny way. And I think that one really stood out for me on that level. And we were working together on something that was difficult and ultimately was an extremely good production. And God of Carnage, because it's such a good play, also directed by a very close friend of ours. And it was just wonderful to share the stage on that level with Micheal. For me, I think those two really stand out in later years. Yeah, obviously, Othello was wonderful because it was really the beginning of our relationship. But you grow as a person and you grow as an actor.
Yeah, I think Pterodactyls also, I think all the plays we've done have been good. We did a year's run of
Run for Your Wife.
Run for Your Wife.
Of course, I've got
with
that.
The late Rex Garner. We ran that for over a year.
That was good fun.
But Pterodactyls for me, because our daughter was in it, Sarah was in it, but also because Loiuse was playing the lead in an incredibly difficult play that went through a huge arc, and she was brilliant in it. And I had the privilege of watching that on stage, and it was wonderful. And God of Carnage was also, that was much more fun. Pterodactyls was quite serious, although in a witty way.
I'd also
actually all the plays, really.
I mean, The History Boys was divine too, because our son was in that with us, and that was his first.
And we both had very small roles in that, but
yes.
It was just lovely to be in it,
and wonderful to watch your child in both of those productions.
But what is their secret to a successful marriage, given the amount of time they spent together on and off stage?
I definitely think communication about everything, and truth and honesty, being real, and really just enjoying each other. And we went away the year before last together for the first time, actually, without the family.
Since our honeymoon.
Yeah. And
so 33 years later, we actually were alone.
And we thought, I was a bit afraid. I thought, I wonder if it'll be
I was
okay.
terrified. I thought, what am I going to say to her for 2 weeks?
But we just had such fun, and it was so easy. And it was just fun. It really was.
No marriage is easy. No marriage is easy.
Downs.
Everybody goes through ups and downs, and it's hard, but you've got to work at it. And if you want it to succeed, It will succeed, but you've got to give and you've got to take.
And if you love each other, and if you really love each other, and that's from the bottom of your heart, unconditionally, then
You make me sound like a dog.
However, like any marriage, these two have had to overcome their fair share of challenges, including addiction.
We've had some hills to climb, and it's been difficult. I think a lot of people out there know that I'm an alcoholic, and I'm celebrating 16 years of sobriety this year. And that was a big journey. And Micheal stood by me through that time. And every single day of my life, I'm grateful for that, you know. And I always think thank you for still being there when I came out of that place.
It was difficult because I suppose I was trying to be overprotective.
Right. Yes.
And that becomes a problem because you suddenly go somewhere and people are going to be drinking. You think, oh, is somebody going to offer Loiuse a drink? And then she said to me, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. And so that's, you know, I think being overprotective and over-worried. But Loiuse has been magnificent, and it's just...
I think for me, that part of my journey, the sort of those years before my sobriety, I mean, I had to go through all of those things to make me the kind of person that I am today, and in a way to have strengthened our marriage. And I think it's stronger than ever.
Louise Sinclair and Micheal Richard have 2 children, Jeremy and Sarah, who have both gone into the acting industry despite their father's attempt to discourage it. Sinclair and Richard's partnership has proved that it is no one-hander in spite of many scenes together. And with that comes a standing ovation. Lebutinane, Morning Live, Johannesburg.